Okay, I was asked to give a response on AFCAP. I think most of the people in this room have probably touched or seen AFCAP at some point along in their career. AFCAP is the Air Force's contract augmentation program that supports all the different types of contingencies for the Air Force. So AFCAP, right before the storm, by the way, I lost a video on here. Has anyone ever heard of Mike Seidel from the Weather Channel? Right? Okay, so I think this means something. About 3 weeks before Hurricane Michael, there was Hurricane Florence up in North Carolina, right? And during Hurricane Florence, Mike Seidel was like this. Oh, the wind is terrible. Oh, there's debris. I don't know how much longer I can stay out here. And then behind him, there's just people walking. So, he got fired. Because think about it, I've lived in Panama City, Florida for a long time. Every time we had a tropical storm, the Weather Channel built it up so big. I get, a lot of people in this room would text me, email me, Jim, are you okay? Are you getting ready for that tropical storm? My family all over the country, Jim, how's your house? It was a Category 1 tropical storm. It was nothing. It was like, we've had thunderstorms worse. All right, so then here comes Hurricane Michael. It might be a 1, might be a 2. Well, even if it's a 3, my wife Debbie and I were like, we've gone through 3s before. It was no big deal. We woke up Wednesday morning. Uh-oh. All right. So some of the lessons learned, like Fletch mentioned, we should have been better prepared in certain areas. But I am very proud of the support that AFCAP provided. All right, so most of our folks evacuated the day before. Some people like to evacuate before a storm. I like to evacuate after. Not fun. I left, coincidentally, I stayed right down the street, and I worked with Colonel Blau and Major Fletcher. No kidding. 2 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, constant. But it was, I really enjoyed working with the ACC folks, I really did. But we did do something smart. We pre-positioned our AFCAP team lead, who was at the time Alex Larson, who Colonel Wegner stole from me recently. And Joey Willard, who is now the new AFCAP team lead. There's a picture of them right there. They went to Mississippi. They were staying in a little townhouse with 5 kids under the age of 5, 3 pets, and 2 and their wives. That was not a very comfortable environment, but they were there ready to go from day one. And they did a great job working with Fletch, working with ACC, working with Ms. Richardson, the IMSC staff to get funding and approvals. They did an amazing job. Accountability was difficult. We got a hold of most of the folks. It says 24 hours up there. I don't think it was 24 hours. I think it was probably more like 72. But that Saturday or Sunday, that's when I was able to find out, I was there, so I knew my house, fortunately, did not have that much damage. So I was very fortunate. I know my folks, Joey, for being one, had a lot of damage and had to do a lot of work with insurance and contractors. So I took over the AFCAP stuff on that Sunday. And that's when we started working with KBR and getting things done. Okay, within a day, Ms. Richardson approved our $93 million UCA. And thanks again, ma'am, for all your support over the years. She's been incredible to support us. She's approved sole source actions and UCAs from all over the world at all times of the day. and we appreciate that. IMSC was tremendous with getting us the funding. We gave KBR our notice to proceed. By the way, you might ask why KBR? Why did KBR get it? KBR was the next contractor on AFCAP that was in line to get us an urgent action. On AFCAP, it works like on a rotational basis that was drawn by a lucky lot. So they hit the jackpot on this one. All right, we weren't sure what was going to be at the time. So that's why we did get approval from Dr. Roper to go up to $593 million. Right now, to date, we have $293 million on the task order, and we've just begun negotiations, and we're trying to definitize it here in the next week or two. So the total amount is going to probably be somewhere in the realm of $250 million of support that we gave to Tyndall. Okay, the first thing we did once we got approvals is AFCAP, along with the Army Corps of Engineers, we did all the structural assessments. So we had the KBR engineers were there, and you can see a lot of demo facilities, a lot of repair opportunities, and a lot of hold. That big number for hold was basically, okay, we're not sure what we're going to do with this building because we don't know what mission's still going to be here. So there's some pictures. Okay, I know more about mold and water mitigation and dryings than I would ever want to know at this point. We did it for 135 facilities, dryings for 110. Okay, debris removal. There's Hangar 5, the dorms. Look at it, look how much cubic yards of debris the KBR contractor removed from that base. It's just tremendous. A tremendous amount. Tarping, temporary roofing. Amazingly, that picture on the right, we had to fix that one twice because 2 months after Hurricane Michael, a tornado hit Tyndall and ripped the roof, the temporary roof, off what KBR fixed from Michael. So, as we've been joking, you know, we've had the Tyndall recovery, the tornado at Tyndall, the earthquake in Alaska that we supported, the Offutt flooding that we're supporting right now. What's next? Locusts. Next week. And I was joking with Ms. Richardson about, well, maybe it's famine is next. And we took care of that with our State Department. Okay, right after the hurricane, there was nowhere to eat. There was nowhere to get cleaned up. So that's one thing that AFCAP provided all the folks that were there on the ground. I'm proud to say that the kitchen and the laundry, we were able to turn that off recently. So that was a really good thing to do. Okay, Colonel Blau mentioned the F-22. There was that picture right there, there was an actual F-22, what is it, a $400 million asset sitting right underneath that wall right there. And that was some tense times for sure. One of the big tense issues with that is working with the contractor because they didn't want the normal regular liability clause because they didn't want to be responsible for $400 million. So that was another great thing that we were able to get support via Colonel Little and Mr. Martinez sitting over there. We were able to get reach-back attorney support, and they did a great job at advising me and Colonel Blau on how to get that done. And it was a good news story when we were able to remove that F-22 from that wall, for sure. Okay, permanent repairs on AFCAP. AFCAP was only used for the permanent repairs that were absolutely required urgently. We had a lot of requests on AFCAP that were questionable with regard to urgency, like such as moving static aircraft. You know, we didn't want to put that on a Yuka. That's probably a little bit more expensive. So there was a lot of things that, you know, because we know, you know, the DoD IG is already coming. They wanted to see us this month, but we're like, hey, we haven't definitized it yet. Give us a little time. So there was a lot of things that we said no to, and I really appreciate the working with Colonel Blau and Major Fletcher and deconflicting a lot of those types of things. They were really wonderful to work with. Okay, what went well? A lot of the what went wells and what didn't go so good are very similar to what Fletch had mentioned, so I'm not going to repeat them. I do want to say that the CCO support and the core support was phenomenal. Also reached back support again from Colonel Little and Mr. Martinez, because we don't do just AFCAP at Tyndall. We do a lot of other things at AFCAP that was just sitting, that had to get done. So I really appreciate the reach back support that we had for that. Again, the contractor was quick. In some cases, the customer was complaining that they weren't quick enough. When they tried to compete something, which, you can make an argument, yeah, that's great, but we need it right now. So KBR, if you happen to remember, was also the contractor that supported Hurricane Katrina, and there was a whole bunch of costs that they didn't get paid for. So they were trying to go and trying to be as conservative as possible with going as quick as possible. But they did a lot of work: structural assessments, mitigations, debris removal, sweepers. Sweepers you might not think are important, but with all that debris everywhere, it's pretty hard to drive a car anywhere if you have nails in your car, tires. Medical records retrieval. The medical records storage facility was heavily damaged. Those records were very important to get out of there. We were able to do that. Okay, what could be improved? One of the things that we struggled with in the beginning was I'd always ask the question, Jim, how quick can AFCAP do this? So I'd be like, KBR, can you get this to us? When can you get this to us? Oh, yeah, we can have that to you in 48 hours. Well, what it really was 48 hours was the best case scenario. It might take a week, and that wasn't relayed very well. So those are the types of things that I think that we could do better in the future. And in fact, we're already working on the hot wash to make sure that we're better prepared for the next disaster. Oh, by the way, like I mentioned Offutt earlier, AFCAP is supporting Offutt right now with a $50 million task order supporting all the flooding. And lo and behold, we actually are taking these lessons learned and we're applying them. It's great, isn't it? And it's actually going very smoothly. It really is good stuff.